Hi, and welcome to this ExPresS tutorial for creating your own exhibition displays that allow you to present objects within your own XR application, whilst also providing additional information and the option to interact with those objects. As most components of ExPresS, exhibition displays can be created by right-clicking in the scene hierarchy, going to ExPresS, and then selecting Presentation. There you'll find three options for creating exhibition displays: one for objects, one for images, and one empty that allows you to fully customize your exhibition display from the start. The other two just come with a pre-configured socket for faster presentation of the objects. Let's create both, one for objects and one for images. Here you can see both. On the left side, one for the image and the other for the object on the right. We'll begin with the one for the object. So let's have a look at the component. So you can see we first have the option for displaying a prefab. As an example, we'll add a test prefab, which is basically a sphere, and you can see the exhibition displays automatically updates itself and displays the test prefab. We can then decide if we want to spin the object during runtime, which will spin the object slowly. The next two options, allow non-interactables and putback time, are relevant if we want to display interactables within your exhibition display. Disabling allow non-interactables will prevent you from adding non-interactables prefabs that do not have a XR base interactable component at their root to be displayed in the exhibition display. You can see we can drag it, but it won't update and we'll get an error that we can't attach the object. If we do enable it and use an interactable prefab, so a prefab that has a XR grab interactable added to it, we can do that. Obviously, we can just enable non-interactables to allow us to display any object. Dragging an interactable into the display prefab will automatically make it interactable and attach it to a putback socket. A socket will hold the interactable, but will allow you to grab it and put it somewhere else. The putback time determines if you let it go and do not put it anywhere else. After, in this case, 2 seconds, the putback socket will retrieve the object and put it back to its position. In that case, your exhibition objects won't get lost. Next, we can go to displaying the information. The first thing we can do is add a label, which will update automatically while setting the values. So for example, we can enter a yellow thing and you can see we'll have the label automatically updating. But if that is not enough, we can display additional information such as text, but also images, video or audio. For example, we can enter some text here and that'll be displayed by the press of this button down here. The button can be configured to either be a physical 3D button, as you can see here, or to be a UI-based button, which requires the XR rig to be configured to allow UI interactions. We then can choose to toggle the info, which will display the information until the button is pressed again. In case we do not want to toggle the info, we can enter a show info duration, which determines how long the additional information will be shown. In case we are using video or audio clips that might be longer than this duration, the additional information will stay open so that the video or audio clip will be fully played. Now, if we want to preview or structure the additional information, we can expand the exhibition display and select the info text canvas and enable it. this will show a canvas which displays our info text. The two white bars below the text are from the image and the video clip that can be provided, but will be disabled once the game starts and you do not have to worry about them. We can now continue altering the position of the canvas to place the information within our room. If you're happy with the information, we can then disable the canvas again. Say we are not happy with the model that is used as base mesh for the exhibition display. In this case, the mesh can simply be altered by scaling or moving it, but we have also the option to use any mesh we like. The same applies for the position and model of the name label stand or the button stand. The same can be applied to pretty much any object that is used in the exhibition display, but if you make more intrusive changes, for example change the button, make sure to update the references within the exhibition display script under game object references. The exhibition display utilizes the same script, but in this case it just has a different base mesh that resembles a picture frame more closely. To add a picture, we will still need a prefab or a game object and not a canvas. But this is not a problem, as all canvas objects are game objects. With our Apple image, we can create a game object and attach a canvas and image to it. We can then drag and drop the prefab into the displayed prefab option, which will display the prefab in the frame. If you want to change the image's dimension, you have to open the prefab and adjust the width or the height of the image or the canvas to your likings. Like that, save, and then update the reference to the Apple image, and this will increase the size of the apple. To wrap things up, we'll now have a look at how the exhibition displays behave in the application. So we're now in the VR, so let's have a look at the object display first. As it uses a UI button, we can hover over it and then press it, and that will show the additional information for a brief period of time. And because the displayed object is a grab interactable, we can get a little bit closer and then grab the object, which allows us to inspect the object a little bit further. Because the object is a normal grab interactable, it'll snap to the center position of the hand. To have a more natural grip, ExPresS also comes with a component that allows you to grab objects from the outside. If we now let go of the object, you'll see that it'll return back to its socket after a short while. That is because the display uses a putback socket that'll retrieve objects if they're not selected otherwise. We can now have a look at the image. Let's go over there, and then we can press the physical button, and you can see, in fact, that image is really an apple. Awesome! And so that wraps up the exhibition display tutorial for ExPresS.